is Tuesday, November 15th. This is a morning meeting of the Acushnet Board of Selectmen. We've got an agenda, but it is a single topic agenda, and we're going to go into executive session as well after this meeting. But we were at our Tuesday night meeting, which was 3 days ago. We were given 5 resumes for candidates for a town administrator. The screening committee met with a number of candidates, narrowed the list of names down to 5, gave us those 5 recommendations, and asked that we consider those 5. And really just left here Tuesday night with the resumes, decided to come back today and make a decision as to whether or not we wanted to interview all 5 or something less than 5. A development between Tuesday night and today, one of the 5 candidates, Mr. John Stanwood, has decided not to go forward, decided to stay with his current place of employment and to not pursue a change in career. So we are down to 4 names, and I guess the question is, how many of those 4 candidates do we want to meet with? We've reviewed the resumes since last meeting, and how many of the 4 would we like to meet with?
Well, to be fair, I think these people went through the process, through the screening committee. I have no objection to inviting all 4 in, 2 over a 2-day period, possibly.
2 and 2. Yep.
And we can get a feel for the people that way. And that's my opinion on that situation.
Mr. Gasper?
I'll second that motion.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, we got 4 names. The 4 names. The screening committee did a lot of work, and
Yep.
I agree. Let's meet them all.
I was under the opinion, as Mr. DeRoche's, if we didn't bring in all 5 and one would have happened to drop out of the 3, we would be stuck with 2. So, in consideration for all 5 of them, it's too bad that we already have one that's come off, but
Yep.
it is what it is. I have to have faith in the screening committee and Mr. Dakin as chairman. I know that did a fantastic job with that, and they went through a thorough screening, so I'm sure that we have 4 good finalists, so I'm looking forward to interviewing them.
Just the second thing I think we should consider briefly. We've got, Mr. Pecos sent us 50. We talked about questions for the town administrators, and similar to the police chief process. We've got 50 questions, and I guess I would suggest we don't want to ask them 50 questions, but we want to ask, do we want written responses on any of them? Do we want it to be all verbal? How many questions? And I think we leave here and we each individually figure out what questions we like. We've got 50 of them. But do we want it in writing? Would we prefer face-to-face, verbal responses? How do you want to break that out?
I think the quickest way to get through this interview process is just do verbals with the candidates in an open meeting. I'm not sure if I'm going to take questions off that list. I talked about that with Mr. Pecos, so we can come up with our own questions.
Absolutely.
I may just have 2 or 3 of my own, and then figure out when the board asks their questions. If, I might have 5 different questions. I might pluck a couple off the list. And when we're going through them, once we get through the first candidate, we'll know what questions we're asking at that point. So
Okay.
I think time is of the essence here.
Agreed.
Yep.
So could I suggest, though, that we coming in, and we can certainly freeform when the candidate's up there, and there'll be follow-up questions. We're not restricted like we were with the police chief. We can go wherever we want to go with the questions. But could I suggest that we have an understanding of what our standard questions are going to be to each candidate before we start? So maybe go through this list, and that we know we've got 5 questions or 10 questions or whatever it is, and maybe pick some off here. Kevin, if you've got things, you've got.
I just didn't want to share them with everybody, so they might get out to other people.
No. Let's filter them through Lisa.
That sounds good.
And we certainly don't, as we did with the police chief candidates, we want to, we don't want to give them advance notice of the questions. We'd like to see them react to the questions in the moment. So, but let's try to by Tuesday. Is that fair to go through these or if there are things here, you got other questions, and submit them through Lisa, and you can compile the list.
Sure. Yeah. And then I can get them all ready.
All right.
They should kind of stay with us, though.
Yeah,
I feel like it just
I'll do it
stays
myself. I won't have
stays
Rachel
with
do
this
it or anything. I'll
office
do it
and
myself.
doesn't go outside the office.
Yeah.
And this way there's no unfair advantage to any
Yeah, so
So
candidates.
if we run them through you, we can do it.
Right. Yep.
Now, dates for, let's pick some dates for, it'd be nice to do 2 days in a row to meet with our candidates. And this is gonna be fun.
Well, we're coming up to the holiday,
There's that too.
so that shortens that week. So
We have a meeting, we already have a meeting on the 26th.
Right,
We've got a meeting on the 26th.
So next week is really the week if we're gonna do anything. Because the following week, it's already Thanksgiving on Thursday, so
Correct.
that's not happening.
Correct.
We could do daytime as
I
long
think
as
we
we
got
can
to.
get candidates in here. Maybe lunch, noon to 2 or something like that. We could do some screening then. What are we gonna do, an hour max for each candidate?
That's a
Yeah,
lot,
that's-
yeah, that's a lot.
It's overkill, but I'm just saying no more than.
I remember the police chief candidates, they were all like, we give them 10, whatever, 5 minutes, and it was like.
Right, right.
Yeah.
um,
We
so-
could probably be done realistically in 20 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah, what did we give them, we gave the sheets
Half an hour.
half an hour.
Half an hour.
I think
So
that's-
whatever we want to do,
Yeah.
but I think we can get through this if we do lunch, 12 to noon, 12 to 1 or 1 to 2. Give the candidates some flexibility there, and I'm sure it'll probably be easier for them to do it at lunchtime. If they need to break away from wherever they are, they can break away for an hour.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my,
We know one candidate won't have a problem.
Yeah, one of them won't have a problem.
I'm sorry, I'm in the calendar. And this is later than next week, but like
Well-
25th, 26th, is that too late?
And then Monday,
That's a Monday,
you have the
Tuesday.
Tuesday night
We
meeting.
got the Tuesday
Yeah, I'd rather
meeting.
not do anything on the Tuesday night meeting.
It'll to be difficult. Next week is a tough week for me as far
Yeah, I'm
as
just, I'm looking at the same thing, it's,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are already filled, so it would have to be the end of the week.
I could do Thursday, Friday,
We can try to put some dates, like you're saying, Thursday, Friday. I'm free to do whatever I need. So if we want to do, 12 to 2 and arrange those hours in there and just see what we can do on Thursday.
how about, I'm just trying to manage my, if we could do Thursday 2 to 4 and Friday 12 to 2, does that work?
Sure.
Yeah, that's
that all right?
right.
2 to 4 Thursday?
Well, we need to make sure, that Lisa's going to have to contact them.
Yeah, we gotta make sure it works for the
I
candidates.
mean, outside of Miss Hebert.
Right.
I mean, she's gonna
She'll
be
here
hopefully in
anyway.
the facility anyway, so we don't need
I
to
mean,
worry. So
other-
the 3 candidates, we should
I'm gonna call
call them.
I was gonna call Mr. Pecos. I told him I'd call him once I left here.
Just let them know what we're doing for the
Yeah.
meetings.
So he's gonna reach out to the candidates and arrange
Or
it. So-
maybe Mr.
Oh, okay.
Pecos is gonna do it.
Yeah, he said he was gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Just-
Thursday,
just let the board-
2 to 4.
Sounds good.
Mr. Chairman, if you could just let the board know, because that may not work for the candidates. So we're trying to set dates, but perhaps the candidates will not be able
I
to do
know.
it. We don't know if they have vacations scheduled or anything in their schedule. I would think that if they're applying for the job, they'd be open in, the upcoming weeks after the screening
Right.
committee's concluded, so.
Mhm.
But there is a chance that we
That's not gonna work,
might
we need
not, we might
alternative
not
dates.
make one,
Right.
that's correct.
Okay. Should we, how about as an alternative date, Monday the 25th?
I think, Mr. Chairman, you seem to have a tight schedule, Mr. DeRosa.
Yeah,
so
that week
you-
is
That
not.
week's
You
not
may
good.
want to,
Oh, no, this. I'm
This
sorry.
25th
Thursday,
week
Friday.
after, yes.
You may, you mentioned some times, but you may want to just give Mr. Pecos, if you guys have different times in that day that you can make, because what happens if they can't make 2 to 4
Yeah,
on
no,
Friday, but
no.
they can do 12 to 2 on Friday? I'm free, I can do pretty much whatever I want, so, I mean, it's.
So how about we do?
Communication with you, Mr. Chairman, with Mr. DeRoche, and then Ms. Lundy could just text me and say times change for Friday or whatever, and let me know.
Can we do this? So I'm gonna offer Mr. Pecos 3 time slots. I'm gonna say Thursday 2 to 4, Friday 12 to 2, and Monday 12 to 2.
Monday, the 20.
Monday the 25th, and
25th. All right.
let's get the candidates scheduled within those timeframes.
Okay.
So it's possible if we do, I'll say preference is Thursday and Friday, get it done. But
Yep.
if that doesn't work for somebody, it's possible we'll have a 1-2-1 or 2-1-1 or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if we get through this relatively quickly, We're scheduling, it looks like we're scheduling 2 hours, you know, but if we do this on Thursday, maybe if we do 2 of the candidates, outside candidates, and if we still have time on Thursday, maybe we can just bring Julie in while we're here and do Julie on the same day. Just to get rid of it.
On the Thursday would be the best time for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So let's try to get her on, we'll try to get her on the schedule quickly.
Yeah, because Friday.
Friday we're closed.
We'll leave at 11:30.
Oh, Friday,
Well, we got the keys.
we've got the keys, we have keys, we have keys. Yeah, it's sort of extra time for you, right? You'd normally be out, I wasn't thinking of that. All right.
Do I have to? I don't have to be there. I can just
I
watch
wouldn't
the
think
tape.
so.
All right,
Yeah,
that's fine.
this is
Okay.
gonna be all,
She can leave the recorder ready with
Then-
the,
Then we film in
Okay.
it.
Okay,
Right.
good
yeah,
point.
there you go,
good
new
point.
tape or whatever, we
Good
can
point.
play, record, whatever.
All right, so we're gonna try to get our questions by Tuesday
Mhm.
To me.
to Mrs. Leonard, and we've got 3 possible dates. I'm gonna call Mr. Pecos when I leave here. So what I'd like now is and that's all we had on the agenda, so what I'd like now is a motion to adjourn our regular meeting and go into executive session, not to return into open session. And I think you've got the motion in front of you.
Just put that as the motion, to go into executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session under GL 30A, Section 21A, to conduct strategy in preparation for the negotiation with non-union personnel, town administrator, and police chief.
It's only police chief, and yeah, it's only police chief.
I'm not
And,
sure what we were gonna.
and the board will not return to public session.
Roll call vote, Mr. DeRoche?
Yes?
Mr. Gaspar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. So we are going into executive session, not to return to open session.